Trevor Noah, and we are live. That's right, there's more room for mistakes. Damn it. All right, my guest tonight from Rolling Stone magazine, Matt Taibbi, is joining us. But first, let's get right to it, people. The third and final presidential debate of 2016 just ended in Las Vegas. And I gotta say, all the prostitutes in Vegas must have really enjoyed the evening, because for once, they got to watch other people screw Americans. And it was appropriate for the debate to be in Las Vegas, since this was America's night to let loose. Let loose before she settles down and makes a commitment to one person. This was like a bachelorette party, except the giant novelty dildo was on stage behind a podium. And that was actually the biggest difference from the last debate, when the candidates could wander around and creep up on each other, right? But Hillary wasn't taking any chances tonight, and she had a barbed wire fence installed, just in case. She even got Mexico to pay for it. Kudos, Hillary. Now, if you thought it would be hard to top the craziness of the last debate, you know, when Trump brought all of Bill Clinton's accusers as his guests, well, you were wrong. Because tonight, Hillary brought Mark Cuban as her guest, which in my opinion was a poor choice, considering Trump has shown he has no problem dealing with Cubans at debates. Good thing, though, Clinton also brought all the women who have accused Trump. Yeah. And those are just the ones that lined up early, folks. Trump, on his side, he did bring a special guest tonight, as you may know, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But that definitely wasn't his first choice, as we discovered in these newly leaked voicemails.
Monica, it's Donald Trump again. I don't know if you got my 48 other messages, but I'd like you to be my guest at the debate. If you're still mad I called you fat, I'm sorry. Although I think we can both agree you look a hell of a lot better now that you lost the weight. You're a total 6, so I accept your apology. Call me back.
It just didn't work. It didn't work out for him. And when those people didn't work out for Donald Trump, he decided to take slightly different routes.
Donald Trump has invited the half-brother of President Obama. Now, Malik Obama is a Donald Trump supporter. He's from Kenya, but he's also a U.S. citizen, and he says he believes Donald Trump can make America great again.
Steve Bannon, the manager for Donald Trump's campaign, or advisor, he's now saying that Barack Obama's half-brother, Malik Obama, who is coming to the debate as a guest of the Trump campaign, is just an appetizer.
What the father are you doing, Donald Trump? I don't understand. He brings Obama's half-brother to throw off Hillary. Why? And then they're like, this is just the appetizer. That's the appetizer for the wrong table. That's what that is. What do you think, like Hillary's looking out going, oh no, it's Obama's half-brother. What is that? That doesn't make any sense. That's so strange. Malik Obama is not what I call an appetizer. It's a bad appetizer. Went to the wrong table. No one's interested. I'm sorry, I ordered the mozzarella sticks and I got Malik. I wasn't thinking of this. Although it did get a little crazy. I don't know if you guys saw this in the debate, when Malik Obama rushed the stage. Yeah, he rushed. God damn, it was crazy. And then out of nowhere, President Obama came out and he was like, Malik, don't do this. This is between me and you. And then Malik was like, this ends here, Barack. And then the lightsabers came out, and then we all know how it ended. So I'll just move on. I'll move on. So say what you want about Trump. He knows how to orchestrate a spectacle. That's all I'm saying. And right before, right? Wow, this is embarrassing. We're live. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I just noticed that someone brought my half-brother to the show tonight. Is that you?
You blew it again, Trevor. No wonder everyone in their village started calling you Ebola.
What? They call me Ebola? Why?
Because you were terrible in Africa and you'll never catch on in America.
What an asshole. I'd hate him if he weren't so handsome. But anyway, back to the debate. I get why Trump had to pull out a stunt. He needed a win tonight, right? And it didn't help that he had Billy Bush hiding in his podium all night, pressuring him on what to do. Billy Bush was in the podium like, Donald, I know one way to end this debate. Donald was like, quiet, Billy. Come on, I've got Tic Tacs. Not now. Okay, maybe one, just in case. It was an awkward evening. And from the very beginning, we saw that Hillary still has no regard for law enforcement in America. This time defying not the FBI, but the fashion police by wearing all white after Labor Day. Lock her up in a closet and let her choose another outfit. She looked fly. I'm messing with her. But this debate followed a pretty normal cycle for Trump-Clinton debates. You know, when the debate started, Trump was calm, stuck to his positions pretty well. He even found some new ways of expressing himself.
One of my first acts will be to get all of the drug lords, all of the bad ones. We have some bad, bad people in this country that have to go out. We're going to get them out. We're going to secure the border. And once the border is secured, at a later date, we'll make a determination as to the rest. But we have some bad hombres here, and we're going to get them out.
There are so many things funny in that clip. The last is one of my favorite, bad hombres. Look at you, Donald Trump, huh? Connecting with the Hispanic community there. They're bad hombres. You see what I did there? I learned something, folks. Bad hombre. I feel like it's like the Mexican people at home going, you know, I know Trump thinks we're all criminals and rapists, but he said hombres, yeah. Maybe we're not so different after all, man. And also when Trump was like, you know, this bad drug dealer, we're gonna get rid of the bad drug dealers, the bad ones. Now the one downside of subdued Donald for Hillary was that Chris Wallace got to ask more questions. And once again, when pressed about the substance of her leaked emails, Hillary defaulted to shifty mode.
You are very clearly quoting from WikiLeaks, and what's really important about WikiLeaks is that the Russian government has engaged in espionage against Americans. They have hacked American websites, American accounts of private people, of institutions. Then they have given that information to WikiLeaks.
Yes, you're right, Hillary. Russia hacked your emails and gave your stuff to WikiLeaks. But now that the information's out there, you can't just expect us to ignore it by bringing up Russia. You can't do that. No one else gets away with that. Yeah, honey, but how did you find out I had stripper glitter on my shirt, huh? Was it Putin, huh? Yes, Hillary brought Russia into the conversation. And if we've learned anything from international relations, once Russia gets involved in a conflict, things go from bad to worse.
Look, Putin, from everything I see, has no respect for this person.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
It's pretty clear you won't admit that the Russians have engaged in cyber attacks against the United States of America.
No, you're the puppet. You're the puppet. To be fair, Trump thinks all women are puppets. That's why he's always trying to stick his hand up them. Honestly, I kind of got a glimpse into Trump's mind tonight because Donald Trump really doesn't get why he's losing this election.
At the end of last week, they came out with an anemic jobs report, a terrible jobs report. In fact, I said, is that the last jobs report before the election? Because if it is, I should win easily. It was so bad.
Then I said pussy things on the bus and everything went downhill. This is the problem with Donald Trump. When he gets this angry and passionate, he lets Hillary destroy him. And she destroyed him so hard with a calm answer that rarely spoke to Americans.
At the last debate, we heard Donald talking about what he did to women. And after that, a number of women have come forward saying that's exactly what he did to them. Now, what was his response? Well, he held a number of big rallies where he said that he could not possibly have done those things to those women because they were not attractive enough for them to be assaulted.
I did not say that.
And he went on to say, look at her. I don't think so. He attacked the woman reporter writing the story, called her disgusting, as he has called a number of women during this campaign. You know, Donald thinks belittling women makes him bigger. He goes after their dignity, their self-worth, and I don't think there is a woman anywhere who doesn't know what that feels like.
Wow. That was power. That was an answer that Trump would really need to draw deep within his dignity and grace to recover from. And he did not.
You have been warning at rallies recently that this election is rigged and that Hillary Clinton is in the process of trying to steal it from you. Your running mate, Governor Pence, pledged on Sunday that he and you, his words, will absolutely accept the result of this election. I want to ask you here on the stage tonight, do you make the same commitment that you will absolutely sir, that you will absolutely accept the result of this election?
I will look at it at the time. I'm not looking at anything now. I'll look at it at the time. I will tell you at the time. I'll keep you in suspense.
I'm sorry, keep us in suspense. Am I the only one who was super freaked out by this? Am I the only one who was like, this guy just said he may not accept the election results? Did Donald Trump just dismiss democracy like it was dressing on a salad? You know what, I'll look at it later. Put it on the side, put it on the side. Yeah, I'll have it on the side. What do you mean you'll keep us in suspense? Trump's basically gonna run his campaign like an episode of Scandal. Only with less black people and less women in power and a more realistic understanding of politics. But other than that, exactly like Scandal. Am I the only one who thinks that's horrifying? That's horrifying, right?
That's horrifying. You know, every time Donald thinks things are not going in his direction, he claims whatever it is rigged against him. He said the FBI was rigged. He said the Republican primary was rigged. He claims the court system and the federal judge is rigged against him. He didn't get an Emmy for his TV program 3 years in a row, and he started tweeting that the Emmys were rigged against him.
Should have gotten it.
Who is this man? Jesus, is that what Trump's first order of business is gonna be? Emmy reform? Donald Trump, we've seen your apartment. The last thing you need is more gold, my friend. You've got enough. Look, this debate had so many moments of crazy. We couldn't possibly process it in the time we've had. I will say this, though. That's it. That's the final time we'll see Donald Trump on the debate stage before we all refer to him as Supreme Leader. Hey there, thanks for watching. If you like that video, click below to subscribe, or click here to delete the internet. Yes, you found the button. Please be careful. Delete the entire internet right here.